fourth inning. We chatted with one right-handed starter, Jason Hamill, with the Cubs, and we're now honored to have with us right-hander Gerrit Cole from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Unfortunately, unlike Hamill, who's active, Gerrit, you're on the disabled list with shoulder fatigue. So let's start by getting the update. What are you doing right now, and do you have an idea of when you might be back?
Yeah, we got one final checkpoint next Monday in Tampa, and get through that cleanly, and hopefully we get the Mets coming in following weekend, and we'll be ready to go by then.
So do you think no rehab assignment for you, just maybe some live BP or simulated and be ready to go?
Yeah, I didn't take much time off, and so I was able to kind of keep kind of stay in shape that way. So they had me do a simulated game last week and do another extended simulated game on Monday, and should be good to go after that.
So you're just picking on your own teammates in those simulated games?
Yeah, but you know what? It's nice because you get good information from talking to them afterwards, and vice versa. So you know, it's actually a good atmosphere to pick up some information from.
Josh Harrison leading off for the Pirates here in the fourth against Travis Wood. Gerrit, let's go back to last year. It was a magical season in Pittsburgh. Those great fans there came back in droves. You guys gave them a 94-win campaign. You got into the division series. What did that mean to not only the city but to the organization in general?
I think at first when we clinched there was a sigh of relief, but you know, that quickly wore off when it really wasn't over with the Reds and the Cardinals really pushing us towards the end, and you know, coming down to the wire, playing the wild card game, and then being able to you know, put up a good fight against St. Louis was a lot of fun. It was a good experience, and you know, it brought Pittsburgh baseball back on the map.
The 2-1 on Harrison is low and inside. We chatted with your manager, who was the National League Skipper of the Year last year before the game, and he mentioned the word hunger. And he said that's something he wants to see in all of his players. He said, I need to see it in myself. You've always struck me as one of those guys who has a lot of that.
I think it just comes down to loving to compete. I think, you know, we have a good group of guys that are, for lack of a better word, are hungry to get out there and just play every day. I think we all truly enjoy the game, and I think that's what makes us. I think that's what makes us special, and you know, allows us to, you know, stay in ball games late and keep fighting and never really give one away.
And kind of following up on that, I talked to A.J. Burnett last year, and we were talking about you, and the one thing that he said was that you didn't lack confidence. And he didn't say it in a bad way to say that you were arrogant or cocky, but that good kind of confidence to be in the big leagues at 22 years old last year and have a big year. How important was it for you, and kind of where does that come from?
I think it comes from preparation. You know, you have to stay disciplined in between your starts, and you have to know that, you know, when you go out on the mound, that you've worked, you know, just as hard or harder than the guy that you're going to face, and you know, it takes a lot of confidence to play up here at this level. There's so many eyes on you all the time, and you know, if you don't believe that you can do it, you know, who else is really going to believe that? So you know, that's a big thing to be able to have success up here, and you know, it's contagious as well, and I think you saw that with the run that we made last year.
Harrison grounding out to Castro. All right, Gerrit, let's go on the way back machine. You grew up in Southern California, but your dad from Syracuse, New York, went to a lot of Angels games. So you grew up a Yankee fan, right? And they actually drafted you out of high school in the first round, no less, 28th overall, but you decided to go to UCLA. Was that a tough decision for you?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you're presented with that opportunity, you have to take a hard look at it. And, you know, fortunately, I was able to make the right decision, and you know, playing in the College World Series and playing for UCLA was an honor as well. You know, but it was something that we had to think long and hard about, and you know, so I'm glad it paid off.
I would say so. You went from number 28 overall to number 1 overall 3 years later. Worked out.
Yeah, I would say it would.
Well, that's great, and you see, you know, guys betting on themselves. I mean, you're just talking about your confidence, and even be able to do it in high school. Most first rounders are going to sign. They're going to find a way, and it's impressive to see a young man bet on himself and then come through 3 years later and have that great year and get drafted even higher. But I'd imagine it was being a little harder just because it was your team growing up on top of it. That's got to be a little bit tough.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, I was just fortunate to be in such a good situation. At UCLA, there's not many better programs or better pitching coaches than Coach Savage, and there's a lot of people that helped me along the way, and I'd be remiss if I didn't give them a lot of credit for getting me to where I am today.
So you're the #1 overall pick in 2011. You become the Pirates' #1 prospect. There are tons of external expectations. You clearly have a lot of personal expectations. Did you look at Baseball America? I'm sure people told you all about that stuff. How does that stuff affect somebody in your position?
I mean, it's hard not to notice that stuff, especially when it's available to you. You just got to take it in stride. I think you got to understand that it comes with the territory, and the higher levels you go, it's only going to get worse. I mean, we have 15, 20 reporters in the clubhouse after every game up here, so and we're a small market team. I can only imagine New York, but it's just it's just part of the game, and you kind of get used to it. But it was definitely a fun experience to have.
Yeah, New York is a little bit worse. I spent a little bit of time with both New York teams, and there's a few more, but they're also a lot of friends I made there, but also a little bit more unreasonable. I like to give them a hard time about it afterwards. How about you for year 2? What kind of adjustments have you seen after that first year in the big leagues, coming back around, second time around? Anything different for your sophomore campaign?
I think it's just there's a different level of familiarity. I think on both sides. Me pitching to some of the NL Central teams that I've seen quite a bit, like the Cubs and the Brewers, and then on the flip side, the same thing. They've seen me 1 or 2 times, even 3 times now, and it's just it's becoming more of an execution game and not really trying to do anything too crazy. When it comes down to it, you got to make a pitch in a certain situation, and you're going to be judged on whether the fact you executed or not.
Gerrit, I'm guessing you guys don't like the Brewers very much, which is okay, right?
I guess. It's I mean, it's hard to, I guess it's kind of hard to really love a team that you play, 20 times a year. And in such in a division like ours where it's a meat grinder and the top 3-4 teams are really just beating each other up all the time, I think it would be hard to really enjoy losing to another team in that situation. So, yeah.
Well, it's great to have you with us, and get back on the field soon, okay?
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks for the time, Gerrit.
Thanks, Gerrit.
That's Gerrit Cole, and as we mentioned, they're going to need him back quickly as Martin really aired it out.